Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in this video, if you thought I was giving you a break, you thought wrong, because we are talking about interior design trends that are overdone, overused, overplayed, and we are tired of them. The first one is the abstract vase. I know you thought you were doing something with this. You saw it on a shelf at some store whose name will not be mentioned, and you were like, this is what is gonna change my home completely. It's gonna make or break it. It's gonna be the thing. No, it's just weird. It's a lumpy vase. You know, the abstract vase, I get where you're going with it, okay? And I have respect for that. You tried it. And effort is always appreciated, but sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need a vase with a giant hole in the middle of it, because how are you putting plants in there? How are you gonna put some flowers in there? This is not a vase. It's just a piece of decor, and then it's weird at that because it's not art. It's a vase. It's sculptural, but do we need it? You know, some of these things, you just see them and you're like, yeah, that was an era. That was a time. And these vases are that thing. They're always beige. They always have that like rough plaster finish on them. And it's just different for the sake of being different. And you see, even Cornelius had to pop in here because he said absolutely not to the abstract vase. It is decor for the sake of decor. And I think it was a moment in time where everybody was like, what's the next thing that's going to change everything? And they were like, the abstract vase is that? I don't know about that. And I don't think we need it. I think you're going to see the thrift stores full of them soon, because everybody watches these videos and they take my advice, whether they admit it or not. And I love that for them. But the abstract vase, it was a moment. It was overdone and overused. And I think it's time for us to say goodbye and embrace something interesting and a little different. It's interesting and a little bit different, but it may be time to say goodbye to it and embrace something different. I say collect something. Find some sort of vase or something interesting that you like and start a collection of them, because they actually have personality, they're meaningful, they're a little different. It's not just a repetition of the same thing over and over and over again. Find something vintage and interesting, and that can be a great piece that will always be timeless. You're not gonna wanna get rid of it. It's not gonna be trendy or overplayed and overdone on social media. And I think that is a much more sustainable way to bring things into your home and shop, because they have personality, they mean something. And I think that's an important takeaway. We don't want to bring things into our homes, our lives, and our spaces that we're just going to cycle through and throw away after a short period of time. We want things that are going to be around for the long term. The next trend that is overdone, overused, overplayed, especially on social media, and some people are going to be offended, but that's just the nature of life, is Scandi minimalism. Now, let me put some respect on Scandi design, because I love it when it's done well. And what does that mean when it's done well? When we're using honest materials, when there's authenticity behind it, when it's not just, this is the cute little trendy thing we're doing right now because it's all over socials and I want to be, you know, having something that's relevant to share, so I'm redoing my whole style. I don't like that. It does not resonate with me or anyone when something feels inauthentic. If you like Scandi minimalism, I say go for it and do it, or just take those principles into your home. What's the Scandi aspect of it? This is a lot of the shape, the lines of things, and the actual materials used. And the minimalism take on it is actually a lifestyle principle more so than a style. I've said this 1,000,001 times and I stand by it. Minimalism is great if you can sustain it, but it doesn't mean having nothing or as little as possible. It means having things that serve a purpose and everything is useful and has an intention behind it. I absolutely love that. I think it's a great way to bring things into your home, but that doesn't mean you have to have one specific style. So the Scandi minimalism, I think, is beautiful. I think it's great when you do it authentically. If you're just going and you're like, hey, you know what, I can do that little hack with this flat pack piece of furniture, blah, blah, blah. It's not giving. It's not giving Scandi minimalism. It's giving trend-driven, hack, DIY type of a thing. And I don't love that. I want styles that are authentic. So if you like this style, right, if you like the core elements and principles of it, you can incorporate them into your own home. But what is the twist you are putting on it? How are we making it personal to you? How is it blending in with the architecture of your home? It's interesting. It's cool. It's great. Just like every style is. There are positive characteristics to every style, regardless of what they are. But that doesn't mean they're for everyone, and that doesn't mean they're for every home. And once again, if you like Scandi design, look back at what it historically is and where it comes from, and then start taking inspiration from that. That's how you're going to make it authentic. And then look for honest materials. That's what 2025 is all about, right? Real, genuine materials, not synthetic versions of something. Embrace quality in the space and you will get something that is beautiful, even if it maybe doesn't fit Scandi minimalism to a T. That's okay. It has to be personal and it has to be you. We also want spaces that are timeless and will not be cycled through quickly. So if you're planning any sort of update, renovation, you're buying new pieces of furniture, whether it's a full kitchen renovation or you just can't decide on what rug is right for your space, it's worth getting a designer's opinion, specifically mine because it's the best, and you can book a one-on-one consultation with me using the link in the description box down below or going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic to get all of your design questions answered. And remember, the times shown are listed in your time zone. You know, speaking of design that is overdone, overplayed, overused on social media specifically, I don't know about all of you, but I am so tired of the aesthetic style. What's her aesthetic? What's my aesthetic? What's your aesthetic? I'm exhausted. Okay, my aesthetic is what I like. And that's that. And that has to be for you as well. Every single one of my clients that I work with is an interesting person. They have characteristics that make up their personality, and I want to see that in their home. Regardless of the style of the house or their personal style, what they like for furniture, it's like, what can we do to manipulate this and make it work and make it personal, make it interesting and different so that it really fits who they are? I don't go in with preconceived notions. So the aesthetic is just something that doesn't line with the core principles of what interior design is. I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. I get it, like the beige fantasy, right? Like the sad beige home and all of that is very like in right now on social media. It doesn't resonate with me because I like things that speak to who I am as a person. And I actually just had a really interesting conversation with a client about this where she was looking for artwork and she showed me one thing and I said, yeah, I like that. Here's my take on it or what I think would look better in that space. And then I pulled up something else and I said, you see, this is what I would bring into my home. And it was more Art Deco inspired and a little bit more structural, the art piece. And I said, but I don't think that's for you. You see, like there's my version of everything and your version of it. And that's what I don't like about the aesthetic design style. It's like, I like this one thing, so every single thing is gonna be that one thing. The sofa is beige, the walls are beige, the art is beige, the rug is beige, you know, the pacifier for the kid is beige, my outfit is beige, the sneakers are... I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And people do it with all sorts of like colors, and that's usually what it is. It's like semi-modern in a singular color. That's the aesthetic. That's what her style is. It's just exhausting and it seems so boring to me. I'd rather see something that is genuine and has real personality and style behind it instead of something that just looks good and photographs well for social media. That's a big takeaway also, is that usually spaces that photograph the best don't tend to be the most functional or the most well-designed spaces, because what reads good in photographs, even in magazines, doesn't always live perfectly in real life. So don't be afraid if something doesn't look 100% perfect absolutely everywhere all of the time, because that is life, that is realistic, and that's what your home can be and should be, because what serves your needs the best and what fits your personality, what makes you happy in your space, is your genuine style. I know, Cornelius. Let me give a quick shout out to you bowl of oatmeal loving girls, you girls that live in a loaf of bread. I absolutely love and respect that for you. If you are ready to make a change to add a little more personality and character to your space while keeping in line with your aesthetic design, let me help you. I am at your service. Once again, you can book a consultation with me and we can really talk about how to personalize a space and make it feel genuine and like you, whether it is a builder grade beige box or, you know, if it's a space that you're wanting to update but keep true to its original character. These are areas I excel at, and I'm not pushing my design style on you. Yes, I like bold contrast and color in my home. That doesn't mean you will, but we can always take and elevate things and step them up to the next level. All it takes is a little bit of design advice and help that fits your personal style 100% to you. Because I'm not telling you should rip it all out and start from square one. I'm telling you to embrace personality and bring in the real version of you into that space and make it truly your own. Oh yeah, look who's here, the baby bullfrog. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're so extra, Cornelius. Whispering secrets into my ear. Oh yeah. Hi. Hi, sweet boy. Oh yeah. That's cute. While we're talking about making things your own, why don't you make this channel your own personal favorite by subscribing and joining us, become a part of the LeChic family, join us in our goal, our mission of saving the world one design mistake at a time. Be sure you hit that subscribe button and join us. And if you have made it this far in the video, regardless of your subscriber status, please give this video a like and help me defeat YouTube's algorithm. Get this video shared out to everyone because some of them need to hear it. And maybe it's tough love, but it's love they've got to get. For those of you who don't know, this is Cornelius. He is the boss of the house, and he rarely chooses to sit on the sofa while we're filming, but he needs a little extra love and some head scratches, so we're gonna give it to him while we talk about the next design trend that is overused, overplayed, overdone, and we are sick of, and that is the gray vinyl plank floor. Now, there's a lot going on there, so let's dive into it. Number one, gray. We've talked about it so many times. I love gray as a color, and I think you can work with it, even if you have those gray vinyl floors, but it's just about these like trends in the cycle that you see and you want to be a part of. Like we're talking about the aesthetic, and it's like, gray everything was so in, and then it was glam everything, and then it was modern farmhouse, and then it was farmhouse before modern farmhouse. There are so many of these things we can point to and say this was a trend and so many people jumped on it, and that's the whole thing with the gray vinyl plank floors. And I still see it today. Like, I just saw a beautiful home for sale that had gray ceramic wood look tile floors, and it's like, the ceramic wood look tile floors are fine, but the gray, do we really need to go there? We could have added some warmth. That's the whole takeaway. I want warmth in a home. And no, regardless of your style, you want to have that. Even if you like something that's really dark and moody and saturated, like, give us a little bit of warmth in there too. Cool toned homes feel like hospitals, and we don't like that. The vinyl is, you know, I'm neither here nor there. It's not my favorite material in the world, depending on how it's made and manufactured. I'm actually planning on doing a video where I'm going to take you into a flooring store and show you what to look for in great vinyl plank flooring, but, you know, let's focus on the topic at hand. Vinyl is good and bad. Good because it is very durable and hard wearing, but bad because if it's not done well, it does not last or look good. And there's a lot of variation on it. So what is vinyl plank flooring? Vinyl, well, most people know what it is, but it is a man-made material that is very durable. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it. It clicks, it floats down, and it goes in very quickly. So a lot of people like it. You can also get very wide planks of flooring in it, and that's good too. But the wood finish on it, the actual picture of the wood is printed. Okay, it's printed and then it has a wear layer over top. And that printing isn't always perfect. They're not always choosing the best planks of wood to print on it, so sometimes there's way too much variation and it just looks fake. You never, ever trust that little sample you get that's like this big or this big. You never trust it because they're cutting samples of the best part of the wood. And there could be extreme variation that you don't know about. So you always buy a full box of it. And you take that box, you open it up, you lay out the floors, and you will see every plank that you are going to have because that box probably has, you know, maybe it has 10 pieces, maybe it has 15 pieces in it. That's all that's in all of the boxes. It's all the same. It's repeat, repeat, repeat. Every box is the same. And sometimes it's not even 15 different pieces. It might be, you know, 5 different pieces. So what do those look like? What's the variation in them? Because you don't want to buy a pallet of boxes of wood flooring for your house only to open them up and realize it's horrible and you don't like it. And if you're not there when the installers get started putting it in, oof, you don't want to be the person that walks into your house and all of the floors are laid and they look horrible. Absolutely not. So you have got to really do a thorough check on what that vinyl plank flooring looks like. Like I say, you know, when you're making major decisions, it's worth talking to a designer. It's worth getting some feedback from your friends on it. And don't just accept like a, yeah, it's good as an answer. Like if a client asks me if I like something, I will say, yes, I like that. And I like it because of this. It's good because of this. Here's an example of what that's going to look like in your space. And I think that's the way you have to go. That's the feedback you have to get when you're looking at some major decisions like the flooring in your home. Always be sure you are doing your homework and research and being intentional with what you're buying. You really need to put that effort in because these are decisions that are there for the long term and they're going to be there for a while. Now the next trend we have to talk about that is overdone, overused, I'm tired of, it's overplayed and needs to go. Something some of you are gonna love and some of you are gonna hate, but I always have to bring it up because it makes a difference. And that is the microwave over the oven. If you are in a small home, a tiny kitchen, if you're, you know, in that apartment in a city where you don't have a lot of square footage because it comes at a big premium, it's fine. okay? It actually is functional and it works. But if you're in a home that has enough space for you to have an actual vent hood, please do it. Please do it. It makes a difference for a couple of reasons. One is just the safety factor of it all. You don't realize how many people get burned every year just from dropping something hot out of the microwave on themselves, okay? It's not safe to have a microwave that high if you cannot see and access it in a safe manner. So it's better to have it lower, built into a drawer. Even just sitting on the countertop is way better than having a microwave above your oven. And the next reason is you actually get better ventilation from a vent than a microwave. Surprise, surprise. Even if it has a vent built into it, an actual vent is just more thorough, it's stronger, more powerful, and gets more of the smoke, the grease, and everything from cooking out of the house. And that's way better. So think about that. And last but not least is the aesthetic and the design and what you came here to talk about. Yes. It just looks better to have a vent hood. It's more statement-like, it's more impactful. It brings a bigger punch, more energy, and a better statement to a kitchen, right? That's an area where you've got big, flashy appliances here and there, and that's what's drawing my attention. But when we can have a great vent hood, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is great. It's grand, it's statement-like, it's pulling my eye to the place I want it to be. Builders do it all of the time because if they can get a microwave and vent combo, they then don't have to pay the extra money to put a vent in. Okay, so it's almost like the open floor plan thing with like the conspiracies where they think TV networks like pushed it to get people to renovate, which may or may not be true. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I believe that builders put microwave with vents above ovens because it saves them having to buy extra vents. That's my opinion, that's my take on it. So I don't think it's worthwhile. I think swapping it out for an actual vent hood when you're doing a kitchen renovation or update, if you can make that change, it makes a big statement, it makes an impact, and it's beautiful, so it's worth thinking about. Plus, raising the vent up a little bit just gets you better clearance. You can see more, we see more of the backsplash, all of that, and I think it's way better. The microwave above the oven is a trend that I personally am going to end. It is my life's mission and goal to save the world one bad design mistake and trend at a time, and this is one of them that tops the list. Speaking of trends that are overdone, overplayed, overused, and we are tired of, be sure you check out this video right here all about these design mistakes that are making your house look old that we should avoid. And also click on this gorgeous little photo of me right here to subscribe to the channel, and I would love to have you here. Be sure you check out that video, and I will see you over there.